Alrighty. So back to kits, building kits. Yeah, I got some wood down there. So I have the American Model Builders Windsor Hotel kit. I had bought this at AAA Hobbies a couple of years ago when they were having a huge sale. Now they are closed, sadly. But I bought this then and got a really great deal on that. I bought a bunch of other kits too. American Model Builder kits. They just had a blowout sale for them, and I bought a couple of them. And I've built them over the years and showed you that I've built them. So I did a couple samples here. And first of all, um, I laid down some Vallejo dark gray, and it is number 70994. And I watered it down a lot, and I got this wash. It's kind of like on the inside, and that's what I laid down on the entire building first. And you see that wash down there, right? And then I came through with another Vallejo color, and it's called Ice Yellow. It's 70858 is the color for that. To me, it's kind of like a buttercup, but ice yellow, whatever you want to call it. So then I did that, and what I did was I'm going to show you on the building itself. Uh, you can kind of see where there's some spots where the gray is coming through here, and there'll be a trim that goes on everything. And so you can kind of see there's sort of like a fade. Uh, I didn't want to use any chipping, so it's kind of like the paint's worn off and you're seeing aged wood underneath of it. And I did just varying degrees all over it. You kind of see here, right? Uh, so I made the mistake of assembling this building and then doing this. And talking to some other people like Dennis over at Otter Creek, he painted his building when it was on the sprues, right, as a flat, kind of, what it would be on here, right? So I'm kind of following his advice on the windows and doors, and that's what I'll be doing with these. I painted these, and I'll let them dry for a couple days before I start handling them. And this is Vallejo Off White 70820, and I used some AK retarder in it to slow down the drying time and thin it out a little bit, just so it would flow. And what I plan on doing is, um, so you have like the window sashes and then the outer part of the window trim that would go over that. I am going to do that, this blue, which is my favorite blue, uh, pastel blue from Vallejo 70910. And I'll be doing that to the window trim and leave the inside mullions, the actual window frame in white. And I'll do the same to the door trim, and I'll leave the door frame. I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to do leave the frame, the center section, the panels of the doors, which would be these parts here. I'm going to do them in blue, or I'm going to do the trim of the door in blue and leave the centers of the panels of the doors white. So it'll be like a two-tone, you know. Um, the these sides and corner trim, the accent, they will be blue. So in other words, this is the door, and that part will be blue, and the center, which would go over it, would stay white. So you'd see white in here, white in here, white in here, white in here. These are the raised panel areas, right? That's what I'm going to do there. So it'll be main body is the ice yellow with white frames, white centers, and blue trim everywhere. So yeah, and then for the decking, I did a couple colors. I just made up some colors for my deck. You can kind of see the deck here, and that's the bottom deck. This is the top deck. And what I used for that is I just mixed up some stuff on here, and it's Vallejo chocolate brown, uh, 70872. I used some game wash sepia, and then I used some natural wood. Uh, there's some natural wood in there, and it came up with this, this color here. This is the sepia. It's kind of more like reddish, right? So basically, it was like I didn't like what I was getting, and I just kept going over it. And, you would have wear patterns that are more darker, where traffic going in and out of the doors, and so on and so forth. But yeah, so this is part one of this. This is all straightforward, sticking it together. I did bracing in there to keep it so that I would have something to support the walls and also keep this flat. The only part that kind of warped on me was this, because I didn't put any bracing. I could have, because the roof. It's kind of weird how the roof comes into this part. So I really couldn't put any bracing. But I just kept coating the sides, both taking alternatives, doing one side and letting that dry, doing the other side, letting that dry, and kind of just like working it back, as the coat was still a little wet. And it's not perfect, but it's not bad. I think once the roof gets on, it'll support it better. Speaking of roofs, I just coated the inside. I'm not going to coat the outside. And what it does is it fits inside of this whole structure. And there is a front and a back to the roof. The back has an overhang. The front does not. So it's sitting up against this part here. And it fits in so that the clapboard is exposed on the back. So you can kind of see like this supports this and pushes this back. So it should be good. And the roof shingles are on the paper. I'm going to use them. I'm going to paint them a grayish color. But yeah, I mean, this is a lot less fiddly than the station that I did. I can't remember the name of the station, but I did that station, and that station was fiddly. It was like a Connecticut station. But I plan on just displaying these on top of my layout above it on my shelf that's above the layout. And that's where I'm going to put all these kits that I've built, and even future kits that I might build that really don't fit on the layout, but I just like building kits. And yeah, so that's what I plan on doing. Anyway, this is part one, and stay tuned for part two. So hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on part two. Take care, be well. Thanks for watching.